Good morning, dear students. First of all, I would send you the attendance in the chat box. You select your name, open the Google form, select your name, and submit the Google forms. Okay. So for 9th A, I am now sending you the attendance in the chat box. You open the Google form, select your name, and then submit the form. Your attendance will be automatically recorded, right? See, this is the attendance. All of you listen. This is the attendance link of class 9A. So you click on the form, select your name, and then submit the form. Then your attendance will be taken automatically, right? And I'm sending you 9th B form now. Okay, this is 9th A. What I'm sending now is sent now is 9th A form. Okay, so you click on this form, select your name in the form, and then submit the form, right? You've understood? I've also sent you 9B attendance form. Okay, so those who belong to 9B, you can select this form. No, 9th B, 9th B. Riddhi, this is of 9th B. The second one, last one, the latest one is of 9th B. The first one is 9th A, right? So if you are from 9th B, select the form of 9th B, mark your name in the Google form, submit it, right? Quickly you give your attendance first. Okay, thank you. Bhumika, thank you so much. Ajwashi, thank you. Those who have joined late, do quickly. If you are from 9th A, select the form of 9th A. If you are from 9th B, select the form of 9th B. Select your name and then submit the form. Okay, very good, very good. Siddhant, very good. Kanashyam, Jitan, Dinesh, Shubham, okay, Sandhya, Arnav, okay, very good. So, according to your sections, you can give your attendance, right? Every day I shall send you this. I shall send you sometimes before the class begins, sometimes when the class is going on, sometimes toward the end of the classroom. Okay, so you give your attendance accordingly. You come at 10:40. By 10:45 you should log in. Okay, all of you must log into YouTube before on and before on or before 10:45, right? So 10:45, latest by 10:45 you come on YouTube. By 10:45 you come on YouTube, don't be late. Okay, okay, very good, very good. Okay, so dear students, you see, today we are going to start a new lesson which is called the lost child. The lost child is the first lesson of your supplementary reader, which is called moments, right? Which is called moments. The lost child. What is the theme? Let me explain the theme first. Here you can see, dear students, the theme is the lost child is the story of a small child who is lost in a fair while getting engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. The lost child is the story of a small child who became lost in a fair while getting engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. The boy accompanied the fair with his parents and demanded things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings, etc. Right? The boy accompanied the fair. The boy accompanied the fair with his parents and demanded things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings, etc. Although his father got angry, his mother distracted him towards other things. The story focuses on the filial love, means parental love and affection that the child shares with his parents. A stranger picks the boy up and hands him over to his parents, but the boy gets lost in the fair from the company of his parents, and then a stranger finds him, picks him up, and then hands him over to his parents. So, dear students, let's know the story of this. Okay, let us learn the story of this one and the lost child today. Okay, so that you know uh, it's very interesting story, and so let's learn this story. What is the name of the story? The name of the story is the lost child. Okay. You see, dear students, a child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? So let's find out why. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with his life and laughter. So as you can see, the small boy, okay, who is in the company of his parents, and then they are in the fair. They are enjoying a fair. They have gone to a fair. Okay, some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo. Lot of sport activities are going on here. Okay, and one little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. It's very, very excited. The boy is very, very excited. Now let's find out. Come, child, come, child, come, called his parents as he lagged behind. So while watching the the fair, sometimes the boy lagged behind. The boy was walking very slow, not able to pace up with his parents. So as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way, so he became very much fascinated by all the playthings that were around him in the company of his parents, demanded something or the other, and sometimes he could not keep the pace with his parents, so he was lagging behind. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call. But even though he is restless boy, but he is very much obedient to his parents. Okay, his feet were obedient to their call. His eyes still lingering on the receding toys. He was sometimes he's fixed on one toy, sometimes on other plaything. Okay, so that happens because the mind of a child is very much fickle. that is why it's happening. And as he gets lost sometimes on some playthings, he lags behind, not able to keep pace with his parents in walking. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old stare of refusal in the eyes. Okay, so sometimes he could not suppress the desire of his heart, and he started demanding about some plaything or the other, but his parents refused to give him. Okay, I want that toy, he pleaded. His father looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. Tyrant matlab one who is very cruel. Father is very cruel, so he just blatantly refused to give in to the demand of the boy. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him her finger to hold. Look, child, what is before you? It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. So his mom wasn't so strict as his father. So she was tender and she was very much kind at heart, and she was trying to make the child forget from what he has demanded. Look, child, what is before him. This is how she's trying to distract him from his focused gaze at particular play thing. It was a flooding mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. This is how she's trying to draw the attention of the boy towards a paddy field. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping up in the air when he had almost caught it in his hands. Then his mother gave a cautionary call, "Come, child, come onto the footpath." Okay, so the child kept gazing here and there till one of them would still, child, his attention is distracted, so he's looking at some dragonflies also. Okay, till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. And then when the butterfly or a kind of a dragonfly, when they settle on a particular object, he wanted to touch it, catch it, but it would go again fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hand. Then his mother gave a cautionary call, "Come, child, come onto the footpath." So the boy is very fickle-minded. His attention switches from one object to another. Okay, sometimes on the toy, sometimes on the paddy field, sometimes on the dragonflies which were flying in air. He ran towards his parents gaily, walked abreast of them for a while, um, being, however, soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms. And then he often gets distracted by little insects and worms along the footpath that are teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. "Come, child, come," his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards the parents, shouting, "The dove, dove!" The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So he started playing with the objects of nature. "Come, child, come," they called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. Okay, so the boy is often busy and focused on on different objects that were found in nature. Next, you see a sweetmeat seller walk, gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed, and his mouth watered for the barfi that was his favorite sweet. I want that barfi, he slowly murmured, but he half knew as he begged that his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say he was greedy. So, without waiting for an answer, he moved on. He did not demand from his parents because he knew that if he demands, his parents might reject his demand of giving him a barfi. That is why he refused. Sorry, he did not ask for this barfi. Okay, so okay. A flower seller hawked a garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar. The child seemed irresistibly drawn means attracted. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured, I want that garland. But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. So, without waiting for an answer, he moved on. He did not ask. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green, and purple balloons flying from it. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on further. A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket. Now his attention is drawn towards a snake charmer, its head raised in a graceful band like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. So these are some literary comparison given. Dear students, you should take a note of these comparisons because um, when you shall start the writing skill of story writing, you need to write in this manner, sometimes making comparison, sometimes making use of simile, sometimes making use of metaphor, so that your writing becomes more ornamental and literary. So here you can see snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket. Its head raised. As soon as the snake charmer started playing the flute, the head of the snake raised in a graceful band like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. Okay, the music of the snake charmer, okay, that went into the ears of the snake, and it started dancing, or it started raising its head, okay, which is something like compared with a simile here, which is something like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall, okay, rippling sound of a waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. Okay, he did not stay back because his parents told him not to listen to the music of snake charmer because it is too coarse. There was a roundabout in full swing. Now there's a roundabout. Men, women, and children carried away in a whirling motion, shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. The child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother. Now he could not resist his temptation, and he was demanding from his parents, I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, please, mother, please do help me. I want to go to the roundabout. There was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there ahead of him. He turned to look on either side. And this is where, dear students, the child lost his parents. Okay. Because when he demanded, there was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there ahead of him. He turned to look on either side. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. Means this is the place where he has lost his parents. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither, here and there. Hither and thither means here and there, in all directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wailed, he was crying. His yellow turban came untied, and his clothes became muddy. Having run to and fro in a rage of running for a while, he stood defeated, his cries suppressed into sobs. Now he started crying loudly. At little distances on the green grass, he could see through his filmy eyes men and women talking. He tried to look intently among the patches of the bright yellow clothes, but there was no sign of his father and mother among these people who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. He could see other people, other men and women, but not his parents. So he got separated from his parents in the fair. He got lost. He ran quickly again, this time to a shrine to which people seemed to be crowding. Every little inch of space here was congested with man, but he ran through people's legs, his little sob lingering. Mother, father, near the entrance of the temple, however, the crowd became very thick. Men jostled each other. Heavy man with flashing murderous eyes and hefty shoulders. The poor child struggled to thrust a way between their feet, but knocked to and fro by their brutal movements. He might have been trampled underfoot had he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice. Father, mother, he was just uh, shouting at the top of his voice among a lot of crowd. A man in the surging crowd heard his cry and stooped with great difficulty, lifting him up in his arms. So a stranger stooped with great difficulty, stooped matlab, bent with great difficulty, lifted him up in his arms. Then he asked, "How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you?" The man asked as he stared clear of the mass. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and now only cried, "I want my mother, I want my father." The man tried to soothe him, means comfort him, by taking him to the roundabout. "Will you have a ride on the horse?" he gently asked as he approached the ring. The child's throat tore into a thousand shrill sobs, and he only shouted, "I want my mother, I want my father." Then you see a stranger has found the boy, and the boy is crying so heavily because at this moment he does not want any sweet, any kind of plaything, only his parents. The man headed the man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. Listen to the music, nice music, child, he pleased. But the child shut his ears with his fingers and shouted his double pitched strain, "I want my mother, I want my father." This is what he keeps shouting. The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quiet him. Okay, so you see here, the boy became very much adamant now that he wants his parents, he wants his father, he wants his mother. "I want my mother, I want my father." The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quiet him. The man, the stranger who picked him up, who could find him, uh, took him to the near the balloon in order to quieten the boy, in order to comfort the boy, in order to distract the boy. But the boy did not get distracted. His attention is not on balloons, not on any plaything. His attention is only on his parents. "Would you like a rainbow colored balloon?" he persuasively asked. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed, "I want my mother, I want my father." This is what only he wants now. The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller said, "Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put round your neck?" The child the child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated. Reiterated means the child said repeatedly. Uh, the child repeated his sob. Sob means his cry. "I want my mother. I want my father." Thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets, the man took him to the counter. Okay, so the man is trying to give him something else so that he can comfort him. So thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets, the man took him to the counter of the sweet shop. The man took the boy to the counter of the sweet shop. "What sweets would you like, child?" He's asking, "What kind of sweets would you like?" The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed. He only started sobbing. "I want my mother, I want my father." So he said, "I don't want anyone else, I want only my mother, I want only my father." Okay, so even the sweets also he did not accept, right? So he got lost, but eventually of course he will be reunited with his parents. But as of now, all his pleasure at watching and pleasure at watching different objects of nature, then different objects, playthings in the fair, has everything lost its charm because he is suddenly separated from his parents. That is why he is feeling so soft, he is feeling so sad, right? So dear students, that brings me to the end of this lesson. It's very simple lesson, very easy lesson. Please do read once again at home, and I shall send you the link to write down question answers and set a solution, okay, from this lesson as well, right? So uh, please do read the text once again before you come to the class. And tomorrow I shall ask you, if you have any doubt, you can ask me from this lesson, and then straight away we shall discuss some of the important questions and answers. Okay, so dear students, every day you come on time. Okay, every day please do come on time so that you can register your attendance. Your attendance link will be sent, okay, at any point of time. If you are late, you might miss it out as well. Therefore please, like your class starts at 10:40, by 10:45 positively you come on YouTube, and then I shall send you link. Okay, uh, yeah you write down the question answer of the road not taken. Yes, if you find it difficult, I can send you the link of the road not taken. Otherwise, if you can find on your own by searching on my website, you can please do it. Okay, and dear students, I'm going to upload one concept video on YouTube today, the link of which will be sent to you. It's an content what is it called, concept video uh, tens uh, on common errors based on verbs. So please do uh, watch my video, and those of you who haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe to it. Okay, those of you who haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe to it, and also press the notification bell for uh, for the notification of every new upload. Okay, so this afternoon around 3 o'clock I'm going to upload one video. Okay, one video, the link of which I'll forward you. Please do watch the video, because some questions will be given from there, okay, when I teach you the grammar. And that is all about the grammar lesson that you might have studied in class 8. So please do watch it, which will be followed by a worksheet in MCQ form. Okay. And about this lesson, question answers will discuss in the next class. Extra questions not required now from the English textbook, because NCERT questions are all important questions. Okay. If required from any chapter at all, I shall forward you later on. Okay. Okay then. Bye bye. Take care.